talk of the town. We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers to meet in Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, me and Venus, together we embark.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to welcome actress and makeup effects specialist Naomi Mechem-Miller. I think she's talking us from Washington, D.C. How are you, Naomi? Everything is fine?
Yeah, I'm good. Good to be here. I'm actually in Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, sleepless in Seattle. Great. How's everything? Thank you for joining the live. First, I want to know about your background. How did you get interest in cinema and entertainment, and then how it happened your specialization in makeup effects?
Yeah, that's a great question. First of all, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I got started actually in makeup and effects first, and then kind of found the film world and that type of stuff. So I'd always been interested in art. I grew up drawing and painting, stuff like that. And I started experimenting with makeup just on myself when I was in middle school, and kind of trying different fun looks and stuff like that. And as I got older through high school, I got the opportunity to visit. A family friend of ours knew someone who worked at Nordstrom as a photographer for their marketing advertising stuff. And so I got to go behind the scenes to one of the Nordstrom shoots and meet the makeup artist, talk to her, kind of interview her a little bit about her career and how she got to where she is. And that was the first time that I realized that I could actually make this a job, and I could really pursue this as more than just a hobby, more than just a passion. So that was when I kind of started getting serious about it. I went to makeup school in Portland, Oregon in 2019, I think it was, which was amazing. It was so much fun. I met some amazing people, learned a lot. And then it wasn't until 2021 that I got on my first film set. It was actually through my makeup school job board thing that I saw a post of something up in Seattle, which didn't happen very often because everything was down in Portland. So I went on, and the second I stepped foot onto that set, I knew that filmmaking was really what I wanted to do. It wasn't as much about the photography or the fashion shows or anything like I thought that I would want to go into. It was really film and storytelling that I found.
Great. But tell me, what kind of speciality did you enroll to? I mean, special effects are very wide. You have practical effects, you have animatronics, you have how to set a fire, I think pyrotronics they call. You have the CGI computer graphics. So I've seen in your website you have photos with practical makeup effects. Yeah, you do monsters, you do stuff like that, werewolves. So tell me about your speciality and which part of the special effects you are most attracted to.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. I definitely work mostly in the practical effects, makeup effects type of stuff, anything that happens physically on set while we're filming. So any of the computer, like CGI visual effects, I don't do any of that. I'm terrible with technology and it's very complicated. And then for the like pyrotechnic type stuff, I'm not licensed to do anything with gunpowder or fire. We do use a lot of air pressure. So we do squibs both with kind of blood shots, coming out. And we've also done squibs with things like flour, cork, stuff like that to mimic gunshots on walls. So different, brick, glass, drywall, dirt, that kind of thing. But we don't do anything with explosives. Mostly what I do is like you were saying, the kind of makeup practical effects stuff. So monsters, creatures, characters. I do a lot of like blood and gore type work as well. I think that's one of my favorite things to do, is a really intricate wound or, something that I can get really detail oriented with. I love that type of stuff, and creating characters as well. I love being able to, piece together different prosthetics and kind of create a natural looking color story that can really bring a creature to life, like a monster, an alien. I'm going to be doing a vampire-ish type short film coming up, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, that's where I specialize.
Great. I want to ask you, who is your favorite makeup artist?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I have a lot of favorite makeup artists. I love looking at other people's work and, following the greats. I would say, in terms of like legends of the filmmaking effects artist community, Steve Johnson is my like all time. He's such an inspiration. I actually got to work with him a little while ago on a short film. I did the beauty makeup, and then I helped assist him along with one of my other team members. We assisted him doing a vampire makeup, and we got to hang out for, I think it was 4 days on set, and then we reconnected once the film came out at the film festival. Got to spend another 3 or 4 days together, and he's just so talented and so fun to be around. He has such an infectious energy. And it was fantastic hearing all of his stories about, the other greats. He worked with Dick Smith, Rob Bottin, Rick Baker, all of these fantastic, many, many more fantastic makeup artists. And if you don't know Steve Johnson, he has done so many fantastic projects. He kind of started out when he was 19 working on Ghostbusters. He was the one that sculpted the Slimer creature, the big green gooey guy, and a couple of other things for that movie. He did Men in Black, or he worked on Men in Black. He did Fright Night, Night of the Demons, just all kinds of stuff. He did the octopus arms for Doc Ock and Spider-Man. So yeah, he's definitely my very top one, especially because I have that personal connection with him.
Yes, and Stan Winston as well,
Yeah.
Yes,
Online Stan Winston classes. So Stan Winston School of Character.
for sure. Right now, what is your favorite transformation scene?
Ooh, transformation scene. I mean, the one that comes to mind first is American Werewolf in London. That's the iconic werewolf transformation. It's so beautifully done. It's so long and drawn out, and you can see every single version of the werewolf as he kind of comes in out of the human form. So that one I think is kind of one of the big standards in the industry. And I would also say, this is another very obvious one, but The Thing, it's not necessarily like a transformation per se, but all of the creature effects in that, I kind of consider it transformation, because they're all moving, they're all, changing. There's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of animatronics in there. So those are kind of...
For sure. Yeah. The first transformation scene, they gave me the creep when I was a child. I was maybe 10 years or 15. Mm-hmm. I saw on videotape, not in cinema, the first Howling film. this is something. And I remember The Making and Thriller was Michael Jackson in The Making, you know. And of course, what I I love the transformation scene of werewolves in Benicio del Toro. The scene when he was in the medical school and he was transforming and he's saying, "I will kill you all." I will kill you all. And they kept lecturing people, the students, and he's keep on transforming. Um, Also, since you mentioned Night of the Demons, I want to tell you that in Italy as well, there is big directors. I don't know if you have seen some of the work by Mario Bava, by
I know
who else? Yes, Mario Bava, and of course Dario Argento. If you have seen the classic one, the first Suspiria, and then the following one, most of his films, and Deep Red, um,
Yeah, I know it.
a lot of makeup effects. I mean, he had a trademark, of people getting killed by windows, by so this was I mean, in Europe as well, a lot of great directors in horror, vampires, stuff like that. But since you mentioned you're not in computer technology, myself right now, I started to do films on another YouTube channel using AI, and it's really fun because my background was working in television programs. Like I go to your home and interview you with TV crew, or we can have you in studio. Right now, the YouTube had changed everything, so I mean, it's very fun for me to come back and to edit, to see the different timeline and sound effects, and trying to create something using graphics and artificial intelligence and stuff like this. Very interesting. I think it's the future of cinema as well. People start to making, I mean, fake trailers, about films, like Back to the Future 4 or Joker Folie à Trois, stuff like that. But tell me, if you have a project, how do you approach working on the project? What steps do you take?
Yeah.
When you receive a script, and you start to conceptualize your work, and the director start to tell you work on the scene one, do you start to do some storyboarding? Do you like to draw freehand, or using a special kind of program, that have like a 3D or 2D visualization of the characters you're working on?
Yeah, so I mean, I really take it kind of project by project. Every story is so different for what it needs and what it calls for. Usually I'll start by just going through the script. I highlight everything that could be a makeup effect. I highlight things that I have questions on. If I'm like, hey, is this going to be my department? Is this going to be props department? Is this going to be wardrobe? Who's going to be handling this specific thing? Because sometimes there are things that kind of overlap between departments. And then I also go through and look at the beauty makeup, because I do a lot of, beauty kind of natural type makeup. But that I put a lot of thought into as well, of, who is this character? Would they be in full glam? Are they going to be wearing red lipstick every day, big eyeliner? Or are they more kind of laid back, natural? They're not going to be wearing makeup. So I kind of go through all of that, make my own notes about everything, what I'm thinking of for each character, each effect, and then usually we'll go and talk with the writer or director or both. Sometimes production team is involved as well. We talk a lot with the wardrobe department, props, art department, sometimes set design, to make sure that everything is working smoothly together. A lot of times for effects, we are going to be getting wardrobe bloody. We'll be getting walls and props and all kinds of things bloody. So we have to make sure that that is okay with everyone and that we're all on the same page there. In terms of concepts for if I have like a character or an effect that we're trying to engineer, a lot of times the kind of big blood squibs, or we've done people exploding, limbs getting cut off, stuff like that has to happen in camera. And so we'll again talk with the director, kind of figure out what they're thinking for the shots, the framing, what they actually want to see in camera, and kind of get away with, what can we take some shortcuts on for budget. And we'll usually give a good, better, best type of breakdown for estimates as well, because we always want to, we know that budgets are tight, especially in the indie filmmaking world. So we try to give options at different levels. And then I usually will just sketch things. I have a little sketchbook, just pencil and paper, coming up with different designs for characters or different ways that we could build something to make it work right. So I don't do any kind of fancy computer programs. I know that there are some artists, I have some friends who use AI type stuff for concept images. There are all kinds of different programs out there. Even just Photoshop can be super helpful. I'm just very old school. I never learned how to use any of that stuff. So I'm pen and paper.
Great. And right now, Naomi, I've seen recently you started to do some acting as well. Do you have something coming up? Because I think I've seen the press release and you're a part of the cast and crew. So
Yeah.
tell me about it.
Yeah. So I just had my first acting debut in Conjuring the Cult, which is out. It's on, I know it's definitely on Amazon. I think it's probably on other platforms as well, but Amazon Prime for sure. I play.
It's a short. It's a short or a long film? Feature film. Great.
It's really great. It turned out really well. It's a horror, thriller, suspense, kind of psychological thing about this father who's grieving his daughter who committed suicide. It's really dark, very heavy, but I think it's done really well. We also did the makeup and special effects for that one, so definitely go watch it, check it out. I was in another film called Revenge of the Boogeyman. This is with the same filmmaking group, 7th Street Productions. And then my company is Real Fiction Studios. So we work together a lot. And I had a small part in that one as well. Very fun. That one's more of a kind of upbeat buddy comedy, campy slasher type. And that one's not out yet. I'm not sure exactly when it releases, but 7th Street Productions posts everything about all of that. And then I think I'm going to have, we have another film with the same group that we're working with coming up at the end of January and February, and I'm going to have a very small role in that one, but we're doing the makeup and effects for that. And then my partner in both life and business, Jason Brooks, who we founded Real Fiction Studios together, he's playing one of the leads in that one. He is an actor as well and also does the makeup and effects stuff. So.
Okay, big shout out to Jason. And I want to ask you a personal question. Mm-hmm. Do you sometimes dream about characters you created?
Yes, actually. I don't remember a lot of my dreams. They're very kind of fleeting. I'm not one of those people that can recall what I dream about, but I have.
They are short or feature length dreams?
I feel like they're usually long. They're usually like feature, very vivid. But once I wake up, I don't remember, But I've definitely had dreams about ideas for films, ideas for characters. There's one that character that I've created, with kind of a story that I want to make into a feature film at some point, definitely down the line a lot. But he's kind of a swampy, amphibious frog-like creature, and that came to me in a dream. But yeah, I'm always thinking about the stories that we're creating, stuff that we're working on. I love storytelling. I love media. I love what you can do with this art form, that I'm just constantly and me and my partner Jason as well, we're always talking about, oh, that could make a cool movie, or oh, that would be a really cool character, or we should incorporate that into a design someday, or that kind of stuff.
For sure. You know, um, right now, I want to ask you about if you have certain dreams you would like to achieve in the upcoming periods, since we are in a new year right now.
Yeah. Definitely The Death of Snow White is our film. We just released a trailer yesterday. It just dropped. Very exciting for the new year. This is something that me and my partner Jason, we co-wrote it together. We both produced it. He directed it. I did all of the makeup and special effects. We did a lot of the locations, casting, getting crew, props, wardrobe, sets. We had just had our fingers in every single part of the film. So this is really our baby. We're so excited about it. It's called The Death of Snow White. It is a dark fantasy retelling of the Snow White story that has some horror elements in it as well. A lot of effects, a lot of really fun practical effects, gore. We have real dwarf actors with dwarfism to portray the seven dwarves. And we are aiming to have a theatrical release in March alongside the new Disney remake, which has gotten a lot of backlash for a lot of different reasons that we're kind of combating. So that's really my dream right now, my goal. We've been working 24/7, 365 days a year since October of last year, not this past October, but the year before. So it's been about a year and a half, or a little less than a year and a half, that we've been working on this. And we just really want it to succeed. I really want it to succeed. We've put so much love and blood, sweat, and tears into this project. We really think we have something special. So that's my dream, is for it to blow up, get the theatrical release that we are hoping and planning for, and really bring film to the Northwest, show people what filmmakers in Seattle can do, what indie film can do, independent film, and show people that, you don't need a big Hollywood studio. You don't need a big Hollywood budget. You don't need to even be in Hollywood to make something really cool and really special that people resonate with. Yeah, we want to bring the indie film scene up and have everyone rise together.
Yes, I hope you can come back and promote it when it's released with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you for an advice for young women who would like to venture into special effects, practical effects. Some film profession that's said to be driven basically by men, but I've seen a lot of success for women, even stunt women as well, right? I interviewed a lot of them as well. What can you tell them if they like to venture in something like you?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's interesting. I think that young women, especially in these male-dominated fields like filmmaking, especially if you want to be a writer, director, a camera operator, anyone in the camera team, gaffer, basically anything there's this kind of idea that I haven't seen a lot recently at all. I think it's very outdated, and it's becoming more and more outdated. but that women's only place in film and entertainment is kind of makeup and wardrobe, the vanities. And it's very interesting coming into this industry, having that history, but also wanting to go into those fields, and especially in special effects, the beauty side of the makeup industry, there's tons of women in there, talented, successful people. In the special effects side, it's much more of a male-dominated field. And so I would just say, keep going, keep doing it. Every time I'm on set and someone goes to Jason for help or for advice or for, to do my job, he's amazing about saying, no, I'm not, Naomi's the boss, go over there. So surround yourself with people like that, who will raise you up. Always keep pushing, keep working, keep driving, and spite is a fantastic motivator. Do it to show your enemies what you can do. Tell them, no, screw you. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do this, and rise up. Yeah.
Great. Naomi, I want to promise me next time you come with Jason and we do live together when Snow White is released. And I wish you all the best. You are my first interview in the new year.
Amazing.
So thank you for this. Best wishes for your career, both as a special effects artist and actress. And I know you do a lot of things behind the scene as well, especially if you're working in the indie type production. I think everybody's doing everything to move forward in the production. Thank you again for the live. I will share it on my social media. I hope you as well. And best wishes in your upcoming projects and your upcoming releases. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me. This was a ton of fun. And yeah, go check out the Way.
Sure.
Like, comment, share. That's my thought.
Thank you, Naomi. Enjoy the rest of the day and best wishes and everything. And I hope to have you again next time, again with Jason.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Take care. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.